Hi, and welcome to week 9 of the I Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
And I'm John Moist.
Boy, what a week, man. A combined 22-4, 11-2, both of us. We only differed on 2 picks last week, and we smoked it. So, feeling pretty good about that. Feeling the love. We're ahead of most of the pundits out there that we've been tracking, and made some pretty good calls. Also, this is a turning point in the I Formation history. We've been making some big changes. Want to thank everybody who's stuck with us over the last few weeks. There's been a lot of change, a lot of flux, and we want to just acknowledge a few people today. First, we'd like to acknowledge we have a brand new director. Terry Lynn Colford has joined the I Formation team, and we're very excited about that. Also, a new set of opening credits, Mr. John Timmons, who also wrote the music, Man Travels Time, which we've adopted as the I Formation theme song. And also, you'll see there's a brand new logo in our opening credits, and we have to give Mr. Paul Loader a shout out for designing that unsolicited. So a lot of people, we feel the love. I mean, a lot of people were excited about us coming back and doing this again. Let you know, we're back into full-blown production again, and moving forward from here. So, interesting week in the NFL. Yeah. I guess what remains now is to move right into the next section of our program, which is our week's picks. So stick around.
Hello, welcome back to the I Formation, and now we're going to make our picks for week number 9, starting with the Thursday nighter, Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins. What do you think, Jeff?
It's going to be a spooky classic. I'm very scared of this pick for a number of reasons. Because one is my Dolphins, they're at home, their back's against the wall, they need to make a move in the AFC East. Cincinnati playing incredible football. I still think that the Dolphins can keep this close. Ryan Tannehill has to play well. He has to hang on to the ball, and as somebody pointed out this week, one of our fans said to us, Ryan Tannehill's got to stop dipping his hands in chicken grease before every game. So, dropping the ball, coughing the ball up, you know what it is. You're the guru talking about turnovers. I'm seeing this, sadly, Cincinnati winning this close in Miami.
Yeah, Miami's after losing 4 ball games in a row now. Cincinnati winning 4 in a row. These two teams are headed in different directions. Unfortunately, Miami has had some injury trouble. Tannehill is not playing as well as he was early in the season. And Cincinnati is just starting to hit their stride. I really think that Miami can keep it close at home, but I see Cincy winning a close one.
Absolutely.
Perhaps.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Tennessee visiting St. Louis to play the Rams. Now, we varied on 2 games this week. This is one of these games. John, I know you've got something to say here, and I know you want to talk to the team that nearly upset the apple cart last week in playing the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, St. Louis Rams. I got some statistics written down here. They held Seattle to 135 net yards in that ball game. 44 yards on the ground is what Seattle had, while St. Louis had 200 yards on the ground. Seattle had 7 first downs in the entire game. That is the least amount of first downs that Seattle has had in a win in franchise history. So the St. Louis Rams played some real good defense last week. Unfortunately, their offense couldn't get it done. So I'm going to pick St. Louis at home to beat Tennessee in this one in a close game. Low scoring.
I'm just looking at the Jake Locker factor, and I think that a team that's slowly coming, has played well. I think that they've been in a different part of the genre of teams that they've played, and they've been able to beat. I think they're a team that's up for this challenge. St. Louis is traditionally hard to beat at home, and you're right, they played an incredible game last week against the Seahawks. But I think they spent their penny. I think that Tennessee catches this team flat at home, and they beat them close. Okay, next we've got the Minnesota Vikings limping into Dallas to play the Cowboys.
Yeah. Minnesota, who's going to throw the ball for this team? Is it Christian Ponder again?
Not even sure.
Not even sure is that quarterback. I think it is Christian Ponder going to be throwing the ball for the Vikings again this week, but it doesn't really matter. They're going into Dallas, and Dallas is just a better football team. Flat out better team. They got DeMarco Murray coming back on the ground too, great running back. I see Dallas winning this one by a couple of touchdowns.
And self-proclaimed best wide receiver in the world, Des Bryant.
Oh yes, of course.
So don't forget, you know.
I don't mind Bryant.
Bryant's a
He
good.
runs well,
Well,
so
you know what? I remember we all had discussion about Richard Sherman shooting his mouth out before, but I guess when you stand up like Richard Sherman does, he had another pick this week.
You back it up. You back it up.
That's right. This is not even close. Dallas destroys Minnesota at home. Next, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, the undefeated. I just want to like the sound of that in Week 9. Kansas City Chiefs in Buffalo to play the Bills. John, I want to let you take this one because I know that you had blood pressure issues with this all week.
Well, I'm just wondering. I was looking at the CBS Sports experts picks, and I noticed that 4 of them had Buffalo to beat Kansas City in this game straight up. Now, Jeff, myself and you have made some pretty gutsy calls over the last couple of years, and but every time we've made a gutsy call, we've hit some, and we've lost some. But every time we've had a football reason to do so. I would like to know what the CB experts' football reason is to pick Buffalo to beat KC, because KC is just a much better football team. You got Tamba Hali, I believe he's got 9 sacks on the year. Justin Houston's on the other side of linebacker, he's got 11 sacks. And if you want to try, if you don't want to try to get around them, you want to go up the middle, then you got to deal with Dontari Poe at nose tackle, and he's one of the best in the game too. He got 4.5 sacks himself at nose tackle. So very hard to get through this Kansas City defense. I know Buffalo has scored, I believe, over 20 points in every game this year. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see how anybody can pick Buffalo to beat Kansas City here, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I don't think so.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Kansas City's defense has solidified to be the best defense in the National Football League. Strong right across and into the secondary.
Yes.
And I don't think Buffalo has played ridiculously well at home, right?
Yeah.
And you know that they've kept teams.
Yeah, I think all 4 home games decided by a field goal or less. So.
Yeah, and we're not talking slack teams there. They played the Patriots.
They beat the Ravens.
Yeah, they beat the Ravens. You know, so I mean, these are. I don't see it either. And you're right. You know what? A receiver's got to make a football move before he can fumble. We want to see what your football move was for that pick. You're absolutely right. KC in a land wash. San Diego at Washington. And when I was doing the picks this week, I really thought that we were going to differ on this one. But both of us picking?
Washington Redskins.
Absolutely. And why are we picking the Washington Redskins?
I think that their defense is going to step up. You think so?
Oh, I think it's, the curve has been long and hard for them, and it has just gotten better and better every week. I put them in the top half for sure now of NFL defenses. You know, prior to the beginning of this season, a lot of people were looking at this defense to be an elite defense. I think it still has that potential, and we have to remember from last year, the last 4 or 5 games that the Washington Redskins played and that drive to get them to the playoffs and how they gelled as a defensive unit. And with the return of Brian Orakpo, you know, we thought, with Kerrigan on the other side, we thought this was going to be an incredible pass-rushing defense. It never panned out right away, but I think it's gotten better over time.
Well, they've given up a lot of points, well, to the Broncos last week, but who hasn't? And they gave up a lot of points, I believe, to the Bears a couple of weeks ago. So we're not saying that they played fantastic defense up until this point. What we're saying is that we see that they're ready to turn a corner, and we think they're going to this week.
And you know, your defense is fantastic if it stops you when you need to stop you. I mean, let's go back and think about Seattle for a second on the goal line stance. I mean, St. Louis had a chance to win that game.
Should have.
And shut them down. You know, four downs and kept them out at the 1 yard line. So you know what? When it counted, they were there. It's the same thing with this team. And I think that San Diego, while Phillip Rivers has thrown for, you know, in excess of 400 yards several times this year, and he has played incredible for, you know, and I'm not a Rivers fan, as anyone who ever knows me knows. But you know what? They got the work cut out for them, but I think Washington maintains, and they blitz, and I think that they pressure, and they make they're going to force them to make mistakes. If you could step in and make Manning throw 3 picks, Phillip Rivers is not going to be nearly the challenge. So you're right, Washington, and I'm really impressed by that. Atlanta in Carolina to play the Panthers, and the new and improved Carolina Panthers, John.
Carolina Panthers, as I called the start of the year, were one of the best defenses in the NFL, and it took a while for them to come around and be so. Right now, they are the 9th ranked pass defense and the 2nd ranked rush defense in the entire NFL. So easy to say that they're probably top 5 right now. I think that they're vying now for a playoff run. I think that they could very well make the playoffs. They're definitely one of the strongest teams in the NFC right now, and I think that they're really going to hand Atlanta a tough loss here.
And with all the injuries in Atlanta, the Iceman is ice cold. There's no other way to look at it. I mean,
Atlanta doesn't have a rushing game either. Steven
No.
Jackson's coming back to week, but they're 32nd ranked rush offense in the NFL. They're not.
going to be a rough one for Atlanta this week, I think. You're right. Next, we've got the New Orleans Saints versus going in to play the New York Jets.
Drew Brees versus Geno Smith.
Next, Philadelphia in Oakland to play the Raiders. And I'm surprised, actually, we didn't teeter on this one. I know you... I looked at this one several times, but at the end of the day, John, I'm sorry. I don't see the Oakland Raiders losing this game at home to a mediocre Philadelphia offense that has played... Oh, you know, Michael Vick is back. Well, guess what? That's half of the issue, I think.
Nick Foles is going to play this one.
He's back?
Oh yeah, Nick
Okay.
Foles. I think it was announced today.
Yeah, so that caught me off at the last minute. I know there was talk of Vic playing again, and that was, to me, a mistake. Foles has had more success with that team than I think that Vic has this year. But when you look at people like Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy, who have had glimmers of brilliance, but they've
McCoy's
never...
having a good season.
Yeah, I mean, he's carried the team as far as, you know, offensive threats.
Best
And
player on the team for sure.
early in the season, you know, you saw that hurry-up offense, and McCoy seemed to thrive. But the team has never really taken off. And this has been a phenomenon for the Philadelphia Eagles for several years. A team that should be tipping the scales at the top of that division, and it's just not happening. On paper, they look fantastic. But I think...
Oakland's defense is looking really good. Oakland doesn't have a whole lot on offense. They do have Darren McFadden.
Who has played very well over the last couple of weeks.
A couple
And-
of young receivers, and Rod Streeter and Denarius Moore and Terrell Pryor can get the job done on the ground and in the air. So, but I think it's the defense that wins this game.
And the home. And speaking of home, now we're going to also talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into Seattle, who I think were a little bit humbled this week by St. Louis.
Yes, that's for sure.
Now they're at home, licking their wounds, and preparing for a feast of Buccaneer, I think. Corn's cheap these days at a Buccaneer. I don't write this shit.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
I've
you
seen
do.
a bunch.
I don't. I definitely didn't write that.
Okay.
Oh my. Anyway.
I don't have the hat on, but okay. I don't even think this is close.
Yeah, Seattle is a different team at home. They were on the road last year in St. Louis, and you know what? One other word about St. Louis there. Jeff Fisher teams always play well against their own division. They always have, and they're always good defensive teams.
And one never knows what Jeff's going to throw at you.
This is true.
Always fun to watch.
Yeah, but Seattle at home is a different monster. So.
Oh, but wait a minute. Doug Martin may play in traction.
Oh yeah.
We're not sure where that is yet.
Yeah.
Like the whole labrum
That's
thing, you
about
know.
it.
You have
If he
that-
plays, he'll last a few plays, and that's it.
Apparently, the labrum is the new. It's the new appendix. You don't really need it. I mean, the Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Well, it's torn, but I think I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And now Doug Martin. Maybe I'll wear a harness. You know what, folks? Not looking good for Doug Martin.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is not going to make the playoffs at this point anyway. Shut him down for the season.
That's
Make sure
right.
he's healthy
Let
for
him get
next year.
over it. Right. Well, in Sanchez's case, it's like get rid of him. But anyway, same way. Yeah, not going to be pretty. It's
Yeah.
going to be a feast of pirate. Next, we've got Baltimore in the dog pound to play the Cleveland Browns. And now we differ on this pick as well. I'm going to start out by saying Baltimore is a team that has been hot. It's been cold. It's been hot. It's been cold. And I think right now they're at a point in the season where critical mass is set in. I mean, you're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals at the top of that division now. Tough team to beat. Probably at best now looking to try to secure a wild card because I think the Bengals are going to win that division. But things have to happen. They're going to have to play hard. And this is a game for them to be able to go in and play that same kind of gritty football that the Cleveland Browns are going to play against the Baltimore Ravens. I just think if Joe Flacco plays well and they get the ball moving on the ground, although it's going to be a tough thing to do in the dog pound with Cleveland's defense, I think they squeak one out here in Cleveland. Just my saying. It's a gut feeling. And let me tell you, folks, this gut knows.
I think Cleveland is also going to be a low-scoring game, I believe. But I think Cleveland at home to Dog Pound. They right now have the 6th-ranked pass defense in the NFL and the 12th-ranked rush defense. So their defense is playing very well, and actually is playing better than Baltimore's right now. And I see Cleveland winning this one close, 16-10. How's that? I'll give you a score.
I was thinking 3-1, but that would have been a CFL game. Next, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers going into New England to play the Brady Bunch. So this, I think, is going
to mean the Bradyites?
The Bradyites. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs.
Anthony.
Was it Graham or Albert?
No, that was Albert.
No, see?
That's right.
Yeah, you saw it.
Sorry, Albert. Albert Jacobs.
Albert Jacobs with the Bradyites.
That moment was brought to you by Albert Jacobs.
All right. Can we say Albert Jacobs anymore in this episode? It's sort of like a Smurf drinking game. All right. So, I think this is going to be an entertaining game. I think Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady, who has really struggled this year by Brady's standards, right? With the trouble with Gronkowski is not where he needs to be, and I mean they've rushed his return, I think, because of the wide receiver issues. The absence of people like Wes Welker, Deion Branch, of course Aaron Hernandez. It's been a big change for them, and really on the ground, Stephen Ridley has not really had much success. He's had a couple of good games, but the game has changed. It's not Belichick's the Patriot way, as it were. I think this is a much closer game than people say or believe it may be. Pittsburgh has had their share of injuries this year, including, we've gone down through their Pro Bowl center.
Yeah. He was their biggest loss. Pouncey was definitely
absolutely.
The biggest loss.
But and even Roethlisberger wasn't 100%. But he's a man on the mend. And I'm going to go out on a limb this week, and I'm going to say that Heath Miller, who has looked as cold as ice over the last little while, coming back, is going to have a big game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Heath Miller does a lot of things that don't go down in the glamorous statistics, like the receptions, touchdowns.
The blocks.
He's a blocker.
Yeah.
He's one of the best tight ends in the game.
Absolutely.
Has been for years.
From an all-purpose perspective, for sure. I say New England in less than a major score here.
Less than a major score?
Absolutely. 5.6 points. That's my call. On to the Indianapolis Colts.
So you're picking New England to win?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
New England by 10.
All right. Just want to get that straight.
Okay.
Here's a story about a man named Brady. Indianapolis now in Houston to play the Colts in an interdivision. To play the Houston. Why don't I just say the Houston Rockets and make this totally wrong? Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets will play. All right.
It's the Houston Texans.
Thank you. Indianapolis and Houston. Anyway, interdivisional here. And the institution that is Andrew Luck and that offensive line coming into a team that's played better of late in the Houston Texans, but I still don't think is the formidable defensive force that they were last year. What's your take on this?
My take on this is that Brian Cushing just went down for the year.
Yeah.
And they've also lost Daniel Manning as well for the year. Arian Foster and Ben Tate, both questionable with knee injuries.
Andre Johnson.
Or no, Tate has a shoulder problem, and Foster has a knee problem. But
Johnson is hurt too.
That's right. All these guys are beat up, and with Cushing and Manning gone for the season too. Indy's been playing at the top of their game, and I think Indy wins this game by a touchdown at least.
Yeah, probably 10 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think it's down to the wire. I think they got a couple of scores under the belt when the final whistle goes.
Yeah.
And we're left with the Monday Nighter, and one of the classic rivalries of all of the NFL, and it's the Chicago Bears coming into Green Bay at Lambeau Field to play discount double check Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Well, the new and improved Green Bay Packers.
The new and improved Green Bay Packers are going to pound the Bears on Monday night. Unfortunately, Lance Briggs is out. He's the defensive leader on the team, and their offensive leader, Jay Cutler, is out as well. That's two of their key guys. out of the lineup. You know, Briggs leads the team in tackles, and you know he's just run that defense for quite a long time. You know, and then Cutler run the offense. Two of these guys gone. You got Josh McCown coming in. Good little quarterback, but he's not Jay Cutler.
Look for Aaron Rodgers to orchestrate a spreading around, going to Lacey. Liking this new receiver Boykin too. He's playing really well. He's giving more options to a team that are really, really evenly balanced offensively. Defensively, there's still some holes. But remember what I said, folks, in week 1. I'm picking the Packers to win it all. And now here they are going into week 9, 5-2.
Yeah, including the playoffs as well. Green Bay has now won 11 straight home games.
Yeah, I'm liking the cut of their jib. So that's our picks for this week. Stick around, folks, and we'll have our final thoughts. And we're going to pick player of the week, and we're going to pick team of the week. Stay tuned.
Hey, welcome back, and now we're back with our picks for team of the week and player of the week. And who do you like, Jeff?
Well, you know, if you told me that I was going to do this a year ago, I would have laughed at you. But I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys this week, who I think are just going to completely roast the Minnesota Vikings at home. It's just going to be an all-out slaughter. Who do you like?
I like the Kansas City Chiefs. Seeing as so many of the experts think that Buffalo is going to beat them, I'm going to have to pick the Chiefs to win this game in Buffalo. I don't see why anybody's picking Buffalo, to tell you the truth, and hopefully I'm right. And also for my player of the week, I'm going to pick Kenny Stills, rookie at New Orleans, going up against the Jets. I think he's going to have a big game.
Nice. And just further to that, I want to apologize to Errol Treslin, our buddy up in Ontario, who's probably going to be there to see the Bills game because he's got tickets. And, you know, just want to apologize ahead of time for KC taking him out. You know what we're talking about. I'm also going with the Dallas Cowboy to have a big week this week, and it's going to be Tony Romo. And this is another time where I would have laughed at you if I said this last year. Tony Romo's had a couple of incredible games this year. And I think at home with Minnesota, their defense being what it is, I think he dissects them. I think he's going to have a big game. So there we are. I mean, that's our picks of the week, and our we picked our teams, and we're back on swing. It's almost like a new coronation this week because, well, Princess, I picked you up a little something too because you are the princess of picks.
Oh,
and
the princess.
nice little
to go with my pink gloves.
Yeah, well, why don't you try it on there for size, man? You know, just
yeah.
don't stick my eyes with it.
That's no problem.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. Do you like that?
You like it?
What do you think of that, Timmons? Do you like that?
How would you like a ram down your throat?
Okay. Actually, you know what, man? It looks like a nice grill, like, you know. Anyway,
before we get to the end here, I'd just like to echo Jeff's sentiments there at the beginning of the show, and welcome Terry Lynn aboard, and to thank Terry Lynn for all her work, and as well as John Timmons for all his work, and Paul Loader for the great logo.
you guys rock. We're back bigger than ever, and bigger and better things. Want to remind you about our new Twitter feed as well, the I Formation. It's the_I_formation. You know, follow us on Twitter. We also have our new YouTube page, which is the I Formation channel. And, you know, we've loaded all our videos up there. Everything is up. We'd love for you to come in and have a look, see what we're all about. And also, like us on Facebook. We have the page called the I Formation, all one word. And we'd love to see your thoughts, your feelings. We're going to be constantly updating our Twitter feed on Sunday, real time. We're also going to be doing things like adding a lot of stuff to the picks and how we're doing on our YouTube, or I'm sorry, on our Facebook page. So make sure that you come in, check this out. Once a week, you're going to see our video uploads. We're back on full floor, you know, back on full force, and looking forward to what your picks are. So don't be afraid to come in, drop us a line, let us know what you're thinking. Anything else?
That's it.
Good for the week. All right. Well, thanks again for being part of the I Formation and coming and seeing us. So until next week, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Have fun.